All right, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a Toyota Rav4 2011. We are going to be doing the valve cover gasket on this guy. This is going to be a V6. So here's kind of like a quick step-by-step on how to do the job if you're stuck in a position where you've got to do it. It's an easy job. It's not a crazy hard job. There's just a lot of stuff that's in your way that you got to remove. This will be the first valve cover. Then you have your intake manifold here. This is coming off so you can get to the back as well. The majority of these engines, they leak on the front valve cover, thank goodness, because then it saves people that aren't particularly mechanically inclined to remove all of that. So we're going to be taking these off. So first things you want to do is you want to disconnect all your spark plugs, okay? Some people say disconnect your battery. Do as you wish. I'm not. Disconnect your spark plugs from your coils, okay? Sorry, disconnect the cables from the coils. Everything's coming out. Coils, sensors, all this stuff is coming out. You don't need to change any of this, any of these parts. I'm only taking off everything here so I can get this cover off. And I'll be doing the one on the other side too. But yeah, first things first, start unclipping all these sensors and push them off to the side. Don't undo this piece here. Do make your life easier and go up here and take that clip away and then lift it off so you don't have to disconnect it there. So basically, tear down. All right, so if you've made it this far, what you're gonna do is you're gonna disconnect your entire wiring harness, okay? Take a picture of where it went beforehand so you know where all these connectors go, okay? Yes, they are pretty much not universal or fixated to a specific port, so it's not that hard to follow it, but disconnect your wiring harness and all of this. Once you've got all those disconnected, what you're gonna end up doing now is we're gonna end up breaking all of these valve cover nuts free, okay? The majority of them are gonna be a 10. The big guys here and here are going to be a 12, and this guy right here is going to be a 17. So make sure that you choose the right one so you don't round your screw bits, and then just start taking them off. I'm not going to make a full video here of me taking off every single bolt because that's just wasting your time. So take them all off, keep your screws, put them aside. Basically with this line here, it used to sit like this, okay? And I just basically squeezed that off of the port right here, if you can see it on the camera, and then also right down here, and just yanked it all off, okay? Put it off to the side, okay? So your next step, take off all your bolts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not here, 6. This one will have to get out of your way, so 7. There's going to be 1 in the middle of your coils, 8 down here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then this guy here, if you want to count it, 15. Okay, 15 bolts to remove that off, okay? All right, so if you've made it this far and you've been able to take out all the bolts, what you will be doing next is you will be removing your valve cover off. So I have already done it, and this is the valve cover. This is the rubber gasket that goes around it. The reason why I'm replacing this is the actual cylinders, the coils are getting oil that are being bypassed through these. So oil's seeping in and going down into the pipe and making the vehicle burn some blue smoke out the tailpipe. So that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. So take it off nicely, make sure you get the entire gasket, okay? Once you've got that off, it should look like this, okay? Coil 1, 2, 3, okay, your harness off, pull it off to the side. Before you put your new gasket on, you want to make sure everything is all clean around the edges around here, okay? And then look and inspect for anything broken. Lifters look good, cams look good, so everything looks good on it. Chain looks great as well. So I'm going to clean up the edges here, old silicone from someone else who did this job before. clean it all up and make sure that the mating surface on it is nice and it's a good mesh together. And then we're going to replace every gasket, grommet, everything on this side here, and we're going to seal it up. Okay, so next step you want to do is you want to peel back your valve cover on the rubber seal around your valve cover and clean up this edge here. If you are not going to be around here, it's not that big of a deal to cover it or not, as long as you don't drop anything in there. It's just the top head, so it's nothing crazy, right? Like you can see further on down inside the engine in here, but you don't want to drop anything in there. You drop anything in there, you're not going to like yourself anymore. Okay, so get to it, take off the valve cover, clean it up, clean around your edges here, and get ready for the next step. All right, so I've gone ahead and replaced the valve cover gasket here, as well as the coil spark plug holes, the gasket that goes around them. They do require some force to get them out, so don't feel like you're breaking something, just get them out. Now I'm gonna go put that on the vehicle after I've cleaned up the mating surface between this gasket and the block. All right, so now we've got the mating surface on here all cleaned up, and we've got this all ready to go. We're going to gently mount this back on there completely flat as possible without pulling or twisting or anything like that. This is to make sure that we don't pull the gasket off of the trim and therefore have a point of leak. Okay, so you're gonna gently kind of weasel it in there. Okay, being very careful, making sure that you're getting on the spark plug holes nicely. Okay, the harness is in your way, there's nothing you can do about it. So we're just gonna get it in there nice and gentle. Just like so. Okay, now you're going to want to line up, there's a little bit of a grommet kind of sticking out right here. You want to line it, sorry, right here. You want to stick it so it comes through that hole right there, so you know exactly where you're lined up. There's also one on the corner down here, so you're positioned in the exact spot that you need to, and then you'll feel it kind of do that last little pop and drop in there. Okay, so find your hole, make sure that these are all lined up perfectly fine, and you want to do a lot of pressure on them to make sure everything is good. Okay, some people will use a valve cover sealer. You can if you want to. Yeah, it's up to you. All right, so now we're at the point where you're now putting this on. When you drop it on, you're gonna see that your new grommets, they're gonna kind of flare themselves up, but it's important that you get them around the aluminum shank here. Okay, around the aluminum shank. You may need to manipulate it with like a little flat tool just to make sure that it's all in there nicely. Don't push it too hard because you're gonna make a hole, okay? This is what keeps your oil from coming down your tube into your spark plug. Now, when you're putting the valve cover on, it's just like torquing a wheel. Put one bolt on here, one over here. Always try to do the opposite corner so that way it comes down nice and tight. So I'm not going to show you how to do it. You know how to do it. So I got one bolt in here just to secure it in there because I had it pushed down. So I got one in here and I got one down here. Now I'm going to go over here and then over here and then over here and then over here and then until you filled them all. Okay? You don't need to watch how I do that, but that's your next step. All right, so I've gone ahead and I've put all the bolts in now. And I've tightened them all down except for these two here. And sorry, this one here. So I've tightened all these bolts down, okay? Remember, these are 10s. Don't forget your ground wire or you're gonna have check engine lights come up for something else that's not related to what you've done. You got a 12 here and here, and then don't forget that back here you have a 17. You're gonna need to put the washer in. Okay, the washer is gonna slide in between there. And then it has a little kind of filter housing that's right here. You want to slide that in, and then you want to thread this in, okay? So you're going to do that step now, so make sure everything else is tight. Washer goes in here, filter goes in there, and then hand thread them in, okay? All right, so now all my bolts are all done. Now you get to play a game called which plug goes in which connector. I've already tightened these down too, put these on very last. So obviously to make your life really easy, these three right here, These two right here will go to your fuel connect injectors right there. They are going to be fixated with special clips, so they're usually to go in each individual hole, and then you just kind of feed it how it goes, right? If it sits like this, you can easily monitor and kind of figure out how, what goes where, right? It's not rocket science, right? But these three will be for your injectors. You'll have these ones here for your other sensors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, make sure you also don't forget to tighten the bolt down here, okay? And put the clips back in properly so the harness is nice and secure. So that'll be your next step. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This will sum up this video and how to do it. I'll just go over the connectors and the locations for you, just to make it real easy for you in case you forget to take any photos. This will be your hose that'll go from your intake manifold to your crank, okay, to your valve cover for your crankcase pressure. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This will be a quick last little video here to help you guys out with your wiring and where things go in case you forgot to take a photo. You're gonna have your crankcase line that goes from your intake all the way to the valve cover. Okay, you're gonna have this, the connector here goes to cylinder 3. This cylinder here with the 2, okay, 2 of them are together. This will go for the cylinder 2 as well as the knock sensor. You're gonna have another one that's connected to 2, which will go to cylinder 1, and then it goes into, I think it's a PCV valve sensor. And then you're gonna have the connectors here. This connector that comes into 2 is gonna be in your fuel injector on the 3, and then this one for 2, and the one down here for 1. Clips go into here and here. And then you're gonna have another line that's gonna click into here, and it's gonna go into this purge valve right here. Ground wire goes right here. This connector will go into, I believe this is another secondary knock sensor. Okay, that's the line that goes right through here. And then reconnect down here. Make sure you tighten this one down here, okay, because you will get a leak from there. And that's pretty much it. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for everybody who watches and for the support to help grow the channel. If you need any other videos out there, any questions how to do this DIY stuff, please hit me up in a comment or email, whatever works for you. Thanks again for watching, and see you on the next video. This video was just for the front valve cover. I'm now making a secondary video that you will find up on the channel, or a link in the corner here, for taking off your intake manifold and then tackling the rear valve cover gasket, because it comes in a 2-piece, because you've only done the first 3. Now you gotta do the back 3. All right, watch for the second video.